yes, whenever you hear Jesus saying beware, you know that is a dangerous part. That's a dangerous part, and then you have to be careful how you tread on that path. Jesus said in Matthew 16:6 to his disciples that take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. I'm going to talk about a major blockade to heaven. All of you, if you want to go to heaven, you have to be aware of this and know how you are going to handle it personally. I know how I'm going to handle it, and you also have to know. I'm reading from Matthew chapter 23:13. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You shut the kingdom of heaven in men's faces. You yourselves do not enter, nor will you let those enter who are trying to. That's a serious statement. Jesus said there is a group of people who will not enter the kingdom of heaven, yet they shut it in the face of men. It means they make it difficult for people to pass through the straight gates. Who are these people? Jesus made reference to the teachers of the law. They were the theologians of the day of Jesus, and the Pharisees. They were part of the leadership of Israel. Remember, Jesus was not talking to a heathen people here. He was talking to God's children, the people of Israel. Jesus said, well, you folks, listen, if you're ever going to pass through that straight gate, one of the dangers at the gate is that the Pharisees and the chief priests, the scribes, the theologians, they are there. They will not enter. They have no ambition for that gate, but they're going to shut it. He's talking about leadership. It is often said that no organization can be better than its leader. The best an organization can be is to be like its leader. So if you want to know how strong and focused an organization is, just look at how strong and focused the leader is. If you see an organization is so confused, so disorganized, just look at the one who is leading it. If you want to know how strong a church is, if you want to know whether a congregation or a denomination stands the chance of leading its members to heaven, just look at the leadership and look at their priorities. How well focused, how heavenly minded are they, will determine whether their followers are going to. That is why if you go to some churches, if the leader is materialistic, it runs through the entire congregation. If the leader has no appetite for salvation, so are the followers. Leadership drought, absence of adequate and effective spiritual leadership in the church today is the greatest hindrance to those trying to enter the straight gate. So Jesus said you have to be aware of this thing. In my opinion, I think this is the greatest of the hindrances, because if you see the devil, if you are going through that straight gate and you see the devil, you will recognize him, right? If you see sin, at least you are carrying sin along, you know it. But it is very sad, it's a sad reality that many people are going to perish and go to hell because of their leaders, and they will be cursing them forever in the pit of hell. Well, what can we do for them? Jesus said they have a responsibility. They should beware of the leaven. He said it several times. He's talking about church leadership. If we are to apply today, many of you will say, we'll be thinking 2,000 years back, Pharisees were there. They're here today in numbers, very stronger than ever before. And they are shouting. As I'm speaking now, they are standing at the entrance of heaven. They will not let some of you hear the truth, and I'm going to show you that pretty soon. What makes them dangerous? Jesus added in Matthew 23:1-4, the teachers of the law and the Pharisees sit in the seat of Moses. I want you to underline the word, the seat of Moses. You know that people respect Moses, and they know what the seat of Moses means. So if you see the devil sitting in the seat of Moses, you are still bound to pay reverence to the devil, thinking you are offering a service to God. Do you understand what I'm saying? If a wrong person is sitting in the seat of Moses. So what Jesus is saying is that they use the seat of Moses as a camouflage to prevent people from entering the kingdom. It's really a sad reality. So you see a lot of people zealous, but they are zealous for the wrong cause. They are being led by the wrong people. That's why you can't fold your arms. I know this morning, all of you hold the politicians accountable. They only provide you food, water, and whatever, and you are screaming every day. What about the one in charge of your soul? You want to get to hell before you wake up that you have a responsibility to your soul. You see, what I see is that God is doing an operation. He's lifting the prison bars. If you like, you can be there. If you like to come out. But remember, he's not going to lift it forever. Whoever is lifting it will drop it and go somewhere else and go and lift it for other people to come out. If you have an ear, hear what the Spirit of God is saying to the churches. I owe apology to nobody for that. Now get